Hey everyone, I'm Sammy Womack from A Sunny Side Up Life, and this week I am going to share with you guys 7 pieces of Dave Ramsey advice that I did not follow on my debt-free journey. Before we jump into that, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos, as I am uploading a new video every single day up until Christmas. There's so many gurus and big names in the personal finance world, and obviously Dave Ramsey is one of them. Although I was a huge Dave Ramsey follower and completely obsessed with his books and even went to the SMART conference, I've spoken out on my channel about several things that I don't agree with him on. You have to give him mad props on all of the people that he has at least gotten started on the journey. Whether they followed his advice to the T or not, helping people get started is what he is best known for. Let's just jump into it. 7 ways that we did not follow Dave Ramsey's advice and we were still successful with our debt-free journey. Here we go. Number 1, the emergency fund. So Dave Ramsey says $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. Baby step 1, right? So we actually kind of went on both of extremes of this. We started with only $500 for our baby step 1 because, believe it or not, $1,000 seemed like a crazy amount of money to us at the time because we had no savings whatsoever. And as fate would have it, our first big emergency cost us about $800 or $900, and we quickly learned that $500 definitely was not enough. We did grow that a little bit more over time as we paid off some smaller debts. We kind of beefed that up, and I think we got up to maybe $3,000, $5,000, somewhere in there right before we sold our house, which was our last piece of debt. So we kind of just let that emergency fund evolve over time. Number 2 was that we did not do the debt snowball perfectly in order. So the debt snowball is basically where you take the lowest balance debt and you pay it off first.
And then you go to the next biggest, next biggest, next biggest.
You pay them off in balance order, which is what Dave Ramsey recommends. We somewhat did this. This is definitely how we started. So our first few debts were very small, but then kind of as we got the hang of it, maybe into our first 6 months or so, we kind of started to alter the order and we started to pay things off that were a little more time sensitive, like property taxes, IRS debt, and then we hit pause to save when we were pregnant with our 3rd daughter. And so our order just kind of got all customized after 6 months to a year, somewhere in there. Number 3 was cutting back our lifestyle. Yes, we did extremely cut back our lifestyle. We were the kinds of people that could very easily go out to eat 2, if not 3 times in one day.
I'm talking a lot of restaurants.
So we definitely brought it back in, but we didn't go all the way to...
You shouldn't see the inside of a restaurant unless you're working there.
We did not follow that philosophy to a T. We still ate out occasionally. We still took small, frugal trips. A lot of them were camping trips or like a day trip to the beach, things like that were pretty frugal, but we still made sure that we had fun. But we did not bare bones like beans and rice our lifestyle. Not 100% at all. Number 4 is our retirement 401k match. Dave Ramsey says not to invest in retirement until after you're debt free. Well, for us, we kind of actually didn't really have a choice because my husband is in a union, and part of their union requirements is that they actually put a certain percentage in their 401k. And looking back, it is one of the things that I'm most grateful for is that we did continue to invest at least a few percent into our retirement. Number 5 is that we are not doing 529s for our kids. Dave Ramsey is very big sending your kids to college, all these things. We're not anti-college, but in our family, my husband didn't go to college. I did go to college. So we kind of have the viewpoint of both sides. And we also know that with the student loan crisis and all of the things, college isn't really an option for every single person. And although we are saving for our kids' futures right now in just high yield savings accounts, we will in the future be doing maybe mutual funds, like more investing for them. But we are not going to specifically do 529s because we don't want to force them to go to college and we want to invest in their future. That might be helping them open a business. That might be helping them buy a house or buy a car or go to college or who knows what it's going to be. But we want them to be able to have options. So that's another thing that we're not following. Number 6 is that we recently purchased land, and you can go back in some of my videos and see a little bit about that if you're interested. But we actually only put 10% down on our land, and Dave Ramsey recommends that you put 20% down. Well, for us, we kind of weighed the pros and cons, and of course we would have loved to put more down, but we're currently renting, and so we knew that we would be quote unquote throwing money away renting, which that's a whole nother topic, but we kind of weighed the pros and cons and we decided that saving up and only putting 10% down was better for us in the long run, as we are renting and we would like to be in our future home as soon as possible. Number 7 also kind of goes along with our future home, is that we will not be financing for 15 years like Dave Ramsey recommends. We will actually only be financing for 30 years. Although we do plan to stay well below our maximum budget of what we can be approved for. 15 years for us is just a little tight with how young our kids are and how much debt just our land alone is, because we bought 18 acres. And we also know that we could probably get a higher return if we were to invest this money instead of putting it all towards our mortgage, because mortgage interest rates are so low right now. With investing, we could probably see more like a 5 to 8, maybe 10% return, as to where our mortgage is probably going to be more in the 3 to 4% interest rate. So that for us, just that's what makes sense for us right now. So remember that although there are so many great pieces of advice out there on the internet and from gurus and from myself and everyone included, you don't have to follow one person's advice to a T to be successful on your debt-free journey. So make it work for you, make it fit your lifestyle, your family's needs, and as long as you are intentional and you stay focused, you're going to be successful in the end, and that's what truly matters. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Again, don't forget to like this video, leave me a comment below, and let me know, have you followed Dave Ramsey's advice to the T? If not, drop it in the comments and let me know what advice you did not follow. I would love to know, as well as subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss any videos during the Vlogmas extravaganza all month of December. Bye guys.